Hide my sister, hide my wife.
Yeah, hide your sisters and your wives. But anyway, listen. So this song here is a funny story about this song. So I was sitting in solitary confinement. I'd been in the hole for probably 3 months at this time, and I was kind of going a little bit crazy. But anyway, I woke up at 9:30 in the morning, and I had this memory pop into my mind from 15 years earlier, or maybe 12 years. It had been a long time ago. And it was such a funny memory. It had me in there by myself, just crying, laughing. So anyway, what the memory was 12 to 15 years earlier, I had had a big bonfire party out at my place, and my nephew Isaiah was there, and his best friend Sebastian was there. Well, Sebastian's a bit of a character. He's real skinny, he's got a big afro, and he's always the drunkest guy at every party. You know, he's that guy, right? So anyway, me and my nephew are standing there talking, and the fire's burning real bright, and through the silhouette of the fire, I see Sebastian coming. You know, he's got this like 135-degree lean going on because he can't stand up straight when he's drunk, and he's dragging a half-gallon of whiskey with him, and somehow it's touching the ground. I don't even know how he did that, but it's dragging the ground with him. He gets up to me, and he puts his hand on my shoulder, and he starts telling me a story, or at least trying to. And I couldn't understand a word of this story because he was already gone. He was far gone. But as he kept talking, I started picking up little bits and pieces of the story, you know, and I'd managed to put together that he was trying to tell me about a time that he was at a party and someone was trying to fight him. Someone was trying to start a fight with him, and he got lucid for a second, you know. He came back and he gets real serious faced, and he puts his hand on my shoulder again and grabs me, and he said, "So I told that son of a... I came here to fight her, and I don't see your sister." Okay, so that's what he said to me. I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. All right, so I'm just dying laughing, right? And like things go, I drank that night, got drunk, and forgot all about it. Well, for some reason, 12 to 15 years later, it pops back into my mind, and I thought to myself, man, that has to be a song. I'm surprised someone hasn't made a song out of that saying, because that's so funny. So I made a song out of it with no pen or paper. I was sitting there in my little cell, and I just walked in circles and came up with this song in my head. And about 3 or 4 months later, when I got my hands on a guitar, I put chords to it, and here's the song. But this is the edited version, okay? Because there might be kids and sensitive ears out there. So this is the edited version. So instead of that one word we can't mention, I'm just going to say dance. All right, here we go. Well, I was sitting getting drunk at the bar, talking to a pretty girl about to kiss her, when along came a long-haired, loudmouth redneck who couldn't hold his weed or his liquor. Said he didn't like my songs, and then he called me a city slicker. I said, buddy, well, I came here to fight or dance, and I don't see your sister. I said, it ain't gonna be too hard. No, it ain't gonna be too hard. See, I could out-drink, out-fight, and out-dance any man standing in this bar. I ain't got a whole lot of money, but I damn sure drink a lot of liquor. Well, I came here to fight or dance, and I don't see your sister. I was in the chow hall in prison, talking to a man they called Gravedigger. He was the leader of an outlaw biker gang just across the Mississippi River. He was a mountain of a man, and he said, boy, you better give me your dinner. I said, I came here to fight or dance, and I don't see your sister. I said, it ain't gonna be too hard. No, it ain't gonna be too hard. See, I could out-drink, out-fight, and out-dance any man standing on this yard. I ain't got a whole lot of money, but I damn sure drink a lot of liquor. Well, I came here to fight or dance, and I don't see your sister. Blame it on Jack Daniels, or you can blame it on Jim Beam. Hell, blame it on Evan Williams when I turn into a dancing machine. Don't you blame it on my poor old daddy or the lowlifes I call my friends. Well, just blame it on the whiskey again. it on the whiskey again. Well, I was standing in line at the grocery store trying to buy me some flour and a mixer when the general manager put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Excuse me, mister, I think I've seen you before, but from where I just can't picture." I said, "I probably danced with your wife or your sister." I said, "It ain't gonna be too hard, no, it ain't gonna be too hard. See, I could out-drink, out-fight, and out-dance any man standing in this store. I ain't got a whole lot of money, but I damn sure drink a lot of liquor. Well, I came here to fight or dance, and I don't see your sister." Told my mama I was hitching down to Nashville, and I was gonna go and test my luck. I caught a ride with a trucker, got drunker in hell, and then I stole me a pickup truck. Well, I drove it to the Grand Ole Opry, and I crashed it right through the center. And when the police showed up, I hopped out and said, "Fellas, is there a nice place around here that I could take 5 or 6 young ladies for dancing?"
Brooklyn Pizza, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Well, tough. Because I came here to fight or dance, and I don't see your sisters. I said, "It ain't gonna be too hard, no, it ain't gonna be too hard. See, I could out-drink, out-fight, and out-dance any cop you got on that squad. I ain't got a whole lot of money, but I damn sure drink a lot of liquor. Well, I came here to fight or dance, and I don't see your sisters." Blame it on Jack Daniels, or you can blame it on Jim Beam. Hell, blame it on Evan Williams when I turn into a dancing machine. Don't you blame it on my poor old daddy or the lowlifes I call my friends. Well, just blame it on the whiskey again. I said blame it on the whiskey